Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Diane and my passion is painting and creating in my studio. Every day I share a video with you on YouTube in which I paint and create all sorts of nature-inspired pictures. I also share loads of tips on how to make the most of your painting journey, interrupted fairly frequently by our family of dogs, cats, chickens and sheep. So welcome on board, click subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's learn to paint watercolor. Hi everyone and welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to show you some new paper that I've just received in the post, and then we're going to paint some little birds. I think it's time for a few birdies. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm also going to compare, while I'm painting, I'm going to compare my Zen Art Faux Squirrel Black Tulip brush, which I was kindly donated by Zen Art, with my Drawell golden nylon handmade Japanese brush, which I normally use, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion as to whether or not there's really any difference. I should probably be fair though and compare the same size, so I will try to find 2 size 8s or 2 size 10s. Now today in the post I received a packet of aquarelle watercolor paper from Antone, and this is called Etival watercolor paper, and this was for me this was 25 euros. No, what was it? Yes, I think about 20 euros, something like that. And there are 50 sheets in this pack, and I painted on this paper for a very long time, and it's quite nice. It's cellulose, it's not cotton, and it's meant for people who are not professional really, although I have painted very many paintings on here and sold them when I used to sell all my paintings on eBay and Etsy and so on, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's completely archival, it won't yellow and it won't change the colours of the paints that you use, so you can with confidence use it as an archival piece of paper, so you can have confidence in that. It's also very robust and stands up to a lot of abuse, and it takes washes well, as you'll see when I start using it, and you can lift off colour. All of those things you need when you're a beginner. And you also don't need to pay £1 or $1 every time you take a piece of paper out of your drawer, because that is the best way of putting yourself off practicing. Plus you don't want it not to work properly. So I heartily recommend this paper. I learnt to paint on Bockingford from England before I knew about this paper, but I found this by chance. I wanted a big pack of paper, 50 sheets in here. I wanted great value, and I got it. Now I'll put the link to Amazon, who supply this around the world. I'll put that link in the description below the video. If you can't find it, drop me a line or put a comment below and I'll point you in the right direction. But Amazon do have it in the States, they have it in England, they have it in France and the rest of Europe. And I just got it, it came in less than 48 hours, not bad. So I'll get rid of that, having done my, it's not exactly a sales pitch, you know, I'm not trying to make you buy stuff because I want to make money out of it, I just want you to have the right thing. So here I have a piece of that paper just taped down. I haven't stretched this, I'm going to give it a really good run for its money, and I'm going to see how well it does today, taped down. I'm going to do something like this, some birds on the line, think of Leonard Cohen again, bird on the wire, and so on and so forth. That's what I'm planning to do. And so I've got my colours here, and I'm going to use several colours for this. I'm going to make this kind of autumnal theme. It's going to be kind of russety. So my basic starting point is this, which is Venetian red from Old Holland. You can get Venetian red from most places. And it's a nice rusty red colour, which you'll see when we start. Well, actually, I'll swatch a bit of it out for you. Hang on a second. Where is my thingy what's it and my other thingy what's it. It's where are you? Right, it's this kind of colour, and it goes quite well with quinacridone gold. If you blend those two together, you get all sorts of nice reddish brown colours. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use probably, actually I probably won't be using that colour, but I will be using that, which is cobalt blue. Get myself organised here. We were at the vet this morning with the cat, getting him vaccinated, first vaccination, and that always throws me for a loop these days because you have to wear a mask and you can't understand what anyone's saying because they're talking at you through a mask, and it's bad enough being in France and everyone's talking French at you without them wearing a mask as well. You know, it's like, I didn't sign up for this. Anyway, so this is what I wanted. I wanted a kind of subtle navy blue kind of colour, and I'm mixing Payne's grey with cobalt blue to get that. So that's my other base colour, and so that's where we are. And I've got my Beviva sheets here as well, which are going to provide me with some of the brighter colours. Now I'm going to hope and pray that this paper behaves itself, aren't I? Because if it doesn't, I will wonder what the world's coming to. And we already know what the world's coming to, don't we? So where did I put it? Oh, here. Right, that's my working pattern. I have to have something to work from. I can't do it all out of my head. Right, let's see what we do here. Let's start with my number 7. I can't find an 8. This is a brand new number 7 Drawell brush. So let's pop in, and I don't know how this is going to go. I never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to pop in some quinacridone gold there for the shape of this bird. And then I'm going to, just because, I'm going to put some Payne's grey to his feet. These are going to be very loose birds. I need a palette. Very loose. We'll let that one bleed a little bit. And I think I'll come in here with, this is the aforementioned Venetian red. And I'm going to put some navy blue in there, so Payne's grey with cobalt, and we'll just today's been a funny day. I was going to say today's been a funny week. This week has been a funny week for me painting wise, and I was saying to Tamsin yesterday, it's funny, isn't it? Because we all have these periods when nothing seems to go quite right. And, or more to the point, you can't decide what to do. And it's been a bit like that this week for me. I've been finding it very difficult to settle to anything. I don't know why, really. So that's 2 birds. And I'm going to, what am I going to do next? I can see the dogs out of the corner of my eye, and if there's suddenly a noise or if something bangs at the door and I have to stop, do forgive me, because that'll be my husband. He's outside picking up, as he calls it. Right, I think quinacridone is actually a very good colour for a base. And I think I'm going to, so I put black on that one. So this one I'm going to put the Venetian red. And I'm going to put it on quite strong, and then I'm going to drop water in. And pull that into shape. So far so good with the paper, in case anyone was wondering. I'm gonna beak there, and then a little bit of feet. I'm hoping that's going to just bleed nicely. We'll see. And then I will draw down the tail, let that flow there. And this is all about water moving paint. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to try the Black Panther, and I'm going to put, let me see, start with this one. Start with the Venetian red. This is softer, this brush. It is softer. It's got less, yeah, it's softer. So if you like a soft brush, and then I'm going to put some quinacridone. See what that does. Yeah, well, and then we do the tail, and then the feet. For this one, I think I might go for something really light, pale pink. Then, what shall we do now? That needs a bit of more that, and let's do that. And painting like this, where you don't really have a particular design in mind and you're not really trying to make it look like any specific bird, it's very releasing. And you do have to trust that things will dry. Well, that brush is fine, but it's a little bit soft for me. It gives me much less control over my painting than I would really like. Okay, I knew there was a reason why I had the green there. It was because of the hummingbird that I'm going to do next. So we'll just pop the head of the hummingbird in and we'll make that green. And then this is where the Viviva colours came in, because I wanted a little bit of peacock there to go around. These Viviva colours are very, very clean, which is very nice. They really are. They are very very clean. And then we have another one here. I'm going to do his head also in blue, but maybe we'll make it a little bit more cobblety. I'm just making these up. It's not really going to look like anyone's idea of a real bird. Okay, so now we need to draw the wire that they're sitting on, or whatever it is. What colour should we do that in? Sort of grey colour, something neutral, maybe? There we are. Now what we need to do now is let that dry a little bit, and then we'll come back and tidy things up a bit. So I'll just be back in 2 secs. Okay, so that's all nice and dry, and I'm suitably refreshed with a cup of tea. So I'm just going to pop in some eyes with a pigment liner, which is a nice fine line, and so that makes it reasonably easy to just do little dark areas there which represent the eyes of the bird, and try to leave a little bit of light in there as well, if you possibly can, just to give a bit of expression. And if you can't, like I haven't on that one, I make that one completely dark, then what you do is you come in with a little bit of white, and you can use one of these white gel pens, and that will do the trick. This one's starting to run out a little bit, so it's not brilliant, but that's fine. And you can change the expression on the bird's face quite a lot by just putting in a light in a different place. And then we need to do something about the feet. We want to just, not with that, I don't think. I can use a brush, I think. Shall I use a brush? Oh, so many decisions. Just to give a little bit more shape to the feet, just a touch. These are what you could call loose wet in wet birds. Some people think that hummingbirds can't perch. Like me, I didn't think they perched. I think I was muddling them up with something else. They have short legs and small feet, but apparently they do perch, so that's okay. We're not in the wrong there. Right, so as I said, these are loose wet in wet birds. We can now come in and give, now we've got their faces, we can give them a little bit more personality by adding something to their colour. And just sort of, I mean, most birds have a kind of top coat and an undercoat, don't they? If you know what I mean. That one's grey. And there's one at the top there which is on the green side. So we'll just make sure that you give a nice soft line on the tummy there. Don't want it harsh. Well, there we are. I think that's probably enough for that. And now what we need is a little bit of spatter just to make the whole thing hang together. And I'll do that with a toothbrush, I think, and just pick up some greyish blue there. I'm going to put some spatter in like that, and then we need a long brush. A rigger, for example, would work, or I've got my sword liner here, which is a Léonard sword liner from France. And let's make it a little bit greenish. We want some nice big dots here. And now I'm just dropping in some water in the hope that some of it will land where the toothbrush spatter is, and that will give us some random runs. That's what we need, random runs. And when it's completely dry, if you feel you want to come in and make any alterations, like lightening up the beak or something like that, it's easier to do that when it's completely dry. I'll tell you what, there's one thing I think I might want to do, and that's soften this. We're just testing the paper here, because I said, didn't I, that it lifted well. So if you want to lift and move, you can. Lift, move, blot. That's better. And I might take a little bit out around here too, just around his eye and his head. I do recommend this paper. It is good. It takes adjustments. You could play around with this and alter what you've done as much as you like, but I'm quite happy with the random look, so we'll leave it like that. So I hope you enjoyed watching me do this play, just a play. We'll take off the masking tape now, the washi tape, and this didn't need to be stretched because it's a really quite dry painting, nothing much there going on as far as water is concerned, so that's fine. So yes, if you enjoyed that, please give me a like and subscribe to the channel, and there's always something coming along every day. There's a new thing coming out. And if you go to the website, you can download sketches for free. and other things there to read. We've got a blog and various other bits and pieces. And if you want to join our channel, you're more than welcome to do that. If you go to our channel homepage, Diane Antone Studio, you will find a button there that says join, and if you click on that, it will tell you all about what you have to do and what you get, more importantly, as a member of the channel. And it's brand new. We've only just started it. YouTube are asking everyone to support the different channels in this community building, I think is what it's all about, really. Building friendships online. So on that note, I will let you go, and I shall see you here tomorrow, hopefully. And for now, I'll say have a lovely evening, and bye for now, everyone. Bye bye.